rising air signs, and welcome to your elemental Soulscope for Taurus season, Mercury retrograde season, and eclipse season. There is so much happening right now in the cosmos. And because of that, I thought that it would be fun for us to pull from two different oracle decks here today. So we're going to be focusing on the power of surrender, simply because there's so much that, of course, we are releasing, reflecting, and revisiting during this time period. So I would love to just give y'all some guidance, air signs, in addition to the sacred self-care oracle, because with all of that reviewing and releasing and shadow work that we're doing, sometimes we have a tendency to be really, really hard on ourselves. And I want to remind y'all to be compassionate and kind with some self-care activities. With that being said, we're going to do something different. Usually I have cards already pulled for y'all, and then I'll pull a few additionally cards live. But today what I'm actually doing is I'm pulling the cards live with you all. So what I'm going to do is sit here, ground myself in the energy of air signs. I'm going to call in my guides and call in the guides of the collective. Tap into the energy of the collective for air signs. And we're going to see what our soul guides have to say here today. Wow, we have a few cards that turned over. Let's see if we can get one more for y'all. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we have 3 cards for y'all, and loving the alliteration with them all. So we're going to start with the first card that came up, which was surrender to rest and sleep. Y'all know the season that we're in. Did you not just hear me say all of those things? This is not a season to force things. This is a season to allow things to be, right? And it says to prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. Right? We are in this place right now where you are really recognizing this call to slow down, and you're ignoring it. You know that now is not the time to move. You know that now is not the time to move quickly. And it doesn't mean that we aren't getting things done, air sign. Again, that's a misconception. You are getting things done. It's just that we're doing it at a more efficient pace, at a slower pace. And what happens when we slow things down is that we don't burn out because we're not moving so quickly. So I know you have lots of ideas as we're revisiting and reflecting, but this would be a really good time to plan. What time periods in your life do you want to go after that particular goal? What time periods in your life do you want to take the time to follow through with that thing? Right? That manifestation, that dream. You don't have to do everything all at once. You can take the time to spread out your manifestations. Some manifestations are long-term, some of them are short-term. So how can we honor your need for rest by acknowledging that you don't need to do everything right now? The second card that came up was surrender to spirit. Right? Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. For some of y'all, you're still forcing things. And I don't know, I kept hearing relationships with that cards. So I don't know if this is business relationships, romantic relationships, relationships with your parents, your friends, your families. But now is not the time for us to force things. We don't need to force anything right now. Right now is the time for you to be in this space of reminding yourself that there is nothing for you to do. So if you're still in the space of feeling like there's more for you to do, that you need to continue to push forward, now would be a really, really, really good time for you to surrender everything to spirit. Go back into prayer. Go back into meditation, go back into stillness, right? Go back into resting. See how that's all connecting for y'all? Third card that came up was surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body and let the stress go as you come back to your center. A lot of y'all right now, air signs, are dealing with some conflicts, and these conflicts are bringing up some different aspects of yourself. Maybe some aspects of yourself that you didn't realize still needed healing, that you didn't realize that maybe you put in a state of recovering and didn't dig in a little bit deeper, right? So maybe that's causing this feeling of stress. Could be the same thing with our our work situations, right? Acknowledging that maybe we've been putting in a lot of time and energy into work situations that aren't actually serving us, into systems that are dropping us, right? That aren't actually supporting us and caring for us the way that we want to be supported. And maybe that again is feeling a lot of stress in your body. But I want to remind you that you have the ability to manage your nervous system. You have the ability to manage your emotions, that you are in control of you. You have the ability to manage you. Even when things outside of you do not feel like they're in alignment, even when things outside of you don't feel like they are, again, synchronizing the way that you want them to. Things outside of you does not need to dictate the way that you feel about yourself internally. And a big piece of that is going to be you returning back to your breath, going back to your heart. This is a message that came up in the Taurus season elemental Soulscope as well, that we're really in the space of closing our hearts down because of all of the reflecting. Now is a time for us to open ourselves back up, right? And in opening ourselves back up, what happens is we open ourselves up to new possibilities and new solutions that were not present when we were closed, right? So bring yourself back to your body, bring yourself back to your breath. Again, air signs, no matter what your sign is, be sure to check out your sun, your rising, and your moon if you're looking for additional clarification in regards to what that means to you. We're going to be making a small transition from the Power of Surrender to the Self-Care Oracle deck. So let's see what self-care activities can help you this season. For air signs, Taurus season. We got 3 cards that came out for y'all. Wow, 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 wow. Beautiful cards too. I love it. The first card that came up for y'all was Sing. Right? My voice uplifts all who hears it. My voice uplifts all who hears it. Right? I really want to remind y'all that you have your own unique voice. We've been going through so many throat chakra activation, so many throat chakra upgrades right now, right? So really acknowledge right now that singing is going to help you get accustomed to your new frequency, your new vibration with all of the solar flares that have been hitting us. The other thing about singing is be mindful of the lyrics that you are singing. So when we are singing, what makes you feel good, what uplifts you, and what lyrics are really really feeding your soul right now, right? And how can we again pour into those aspects of yourself? A card that came up, which is a new card for me. I've never seen this card in any of the readings that I've done before, so I'm really excited to share a new one with y'all. It's card number 15, and it's Connect with Your Womb. Right? So for souls who have wombs, it says, I bring my dreams to life. I think sometimes when we think of wombs, right? Yes, we can think of womb healing, sacral healing, if that's something that you'll need to do as souls. But really what we're talking about is this idea of birthing something new into existence. And again, because it is retrograde season, very specifically what we're speaking about is you birthing old dreams, right? Old realities, old things that you put aside because you said that they were too big, that you said that you weren't enough, that it cost too much money, that it was too overwhelming. What things that you really, really want to do that you put on the back burner, and how can we start revisiting these dreams so that we can start birthing something new? Right? I also want to ask y'all this question of what thoughts, what feelings, what habits do you need in order for you to birth this new thing into existence? Right? And how can we, again, shift and change those things if we're realizing that they're not connecting in the way that we want them to? Right? The last card that came up for y'all was Take a Walk. Card number 52, Take a Walk. And the affirmation is, with each step forward, I release what no longer serves me. With each step forward, I release what no longer serves me. Right? Going on a walk is a beautiful way for you to ground yourself, for you to be mindful, and for you to just connect with Gaia. Right? So if we're in the space of feeling a little disconnected, feeling a little in the air, air signs. See what I did there? Now is going to be a really good time for you to ground yourself. So on that walk, what sights, what smells, what things are around you, what energies do you pick up on, and how can we be mindful of that as you continue to move forward so that you can ground yourself in that energy? Right? Some things for y'all to keep in mind as we've been speaking about throughout the season of change is that I do have a couple of offerings that I'm going to highlight to y'all. If these messages have resonated with you and you're looking for a little bit more, some personalized messages, I have a Mercury retrograde spread that is available right now that is on sale. It's a pre-recorded reading. I will send you the information kind of like the format here, just with tarot cards instead. And then May 5th, I'm going to be doing a full moon in Scorpio ritual. It's going to be a candle and Reiki ritual that's all about revealing those hidden truths and really synchronizing yourself with your own truth so that you can speak your truth and say the things that you need, say the things that you want without those feelings of shame or guilt or fear. Right? As always, I say, take what resonates and leave the rest. If these messages really have resonated with you, I would love to know how in the comments below. If you're new to this space, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm definitely looking forward to connecting with y'all again. Thanks, friends.